Welcome to Desi Films Decoded, the podcast where four friends from different backgrounds unlock the world of Desi cinema. I'm Winnie, the Desi who's never been to India.
We are going to Fear of Stairs.
You didn't say Fear of Stairs. You said Desi Films Decoded.
I was so proud of doing it without looking at my notes app. Okay.
You just got the whole name of the podcast wrong, but everything else was spot on.
Welcome to Fear of Stairs, Desi Films Decoded, the podcast where four friends from different backgrounds unlock the world of Desi cinema. I'm Winnie, the Desi who's never been to India.
Hi, I'm Khili, who admires Karan Johar's film a lot.
I'm Nicky. I occasionally like rom-com films.
I'm Adam, the Western film buff, and after watching this movie, I learned that Mao was right, and cultural revolutions are necessary sometimes.
So today we're doing like a Netflix film of all things, which you know what that means.
High, top quality, good writing, good acting, good cinematography, a lot of care being put into it.
And that film is a very recent one called Nadaaniyan.
Nadaaniyan.
It's a teen rom-com in the year 2025, which feels like a movie that was made in 2003, 2004.
Like a She's All That era
Yes.
type rom-com.
I'm in disbelief that such a thing exists today. And I don't know about you guys, but watching the movie was like eating wet cardboard. It was just super...
But you can get nutrients out of wet cardboard.
It's just like maybe like very little nutrients.
But that's more than this movie.
Maybe who's the director? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
But producer is Karan Johar.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the director was 17 when around 2002, 2003. So that's what she remembers being 17.
I mean, absolutely.
I like that you
Yeah.
assume the gender of the director is a woman.
I know.
It is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, well,
I
that
forgot the
makes
name.
sense.
Well, yeah, it's your typical...
I think they forgot they were directing a film too. It's okay.
It's like, this is what kids do. But yeah, this is a very... very forgettable rom-com. You have your usual like two opposite characters getting into some shenanigans, and then them falling in love, and there's your usual misunderstanding at the later part of the film. I don't know how. I don't know.
Well, we should explain why we chose this movie. But before that, because we have some time, we're starting an hour late because what were you guys doing?
Oh.
Which is nice. I don't know. We should talk about it.
I just went to a Japanese onsen
Okay.
just to relax.
I just went to get a massage to try to cure my office syndrome back.
So this is nice. Like this is, I hope that went well. How was the spa? I'm kind of envious.
Well, it got a little stressful because I knew it was running late to the podcast.
Because you did confirm 4 o'clock.
Nicky was a whole hour late.
And then at 4 o'clock said, I'm leaving. I'm at the onsen right now.
I thought I had everything under control, but then my friend was in town, and he's from Canada. He wanted to explore things he missed in Thailand. I thought I could squeeze in all these things before 4, but then I kind of like got lost in the sauna.
Well, wait. Was there more than the onsen that you did with this guy?
Wait, what?
No, I mean, like you said, he wanted to do activities and stuff.
He wanted to go to Chinatown, but then I told him like, yeah, I got this. If you didn't know, I got this podcast with my few friends. He was like, what's it about? I was like, it's on Indian movies, and he was like,
Yeah, that's kind of the reaction I tend to get as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, cool.
But honestly, at this point, if we say 4, I kind of know we're going to start at 5. We're running on Indian time, which is, I think, pretty appropriate since we're doing a podcast about Indian movies.
Sure, fine.
Yeah.
I'll say 3 next time. No, I just wanted to know how the onsen went. So
it was relaxing. It's not my first rodeo. I mean, I've been there for like a few years.
Your Canadian friend misses those?
He's never been to a Japanese onsen, of all things. Mm-hmm. And now he's going to develop a new personality when he goes back to Toronto. He'll be like, you ever been to one of those Japanese onsens?
It's a great first date place.
And then he's gonna talk about how he only spent $20.
Yeah.
And he can spend a whole day there.
Is there not onsens in like Toronto?
I never saw one in
I
upstate
think
New York.
He did tell me there are, but I guess he never had like buddies to go with.
A massage at minimum would cost $60-$70.
But the
in
onsen
Rochester.
The onsen is just hot water, and like for a place that snows, that would be incredible.
Well, it's not just hot water. You have like a bunch of like pools that are set at different temperatures. So like you'll have like a cold bath at one end where it's like 0 degrees. Or
Why?
like 20. It's just to for the cold baths, it would be more like relaxing your body, that sort of thing. And then when you go, and then there's like the hot water jet. There's like a jet stream bath, and then another one is like a signature bath where they throw in like all sorts of like salts and nutrients.
Yeah, and then there's an outdoor area where you can just sit and relax under the sun.
There's a steam room.
Yeah, the steam room's
teak
really nice.
bath,
A restaurant.
A restaurant, yeah. You can wear a yukata and just like there's a sleeping room as well.
You said yukata.
Is it correct?
It's correct.
Oh, yes.
Because my friend was like, "When are we going to wear those kimonos?" And
I
I'm
did.
thinking to myself, "I don't want to correct this man right now. It's not a kimono. It's a yukata."
The stupid pleb doesn't know what he's
It's
talking
a very
about.
Japanese thing, I guess. I don't know.
Have you guys not gone to the
I've gone
onsen
to that
before?
one. I really like it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So for the men's section, you have to be completely naked. For
The women's
lady-
you don't?
No,
The
they
women's
give
you
you
don't,
like a
actually.
little like a tube top.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean it's still kind of see through, but you're not fully exposed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nicky, was it weird going there with your friend?
No, I feel like I've seen all of my Arcadian friends.
Not mine. I've never been to an onsen with you.
Well,
Unless
I've
I'm
seen
not
Boris,
aware
I've
of it.
seen Tim. I've seen Larry.
You don't have to list it.
It's like you're
They just got so name blasted.
I'm just like naming people.
And I review each of them.
Give
You
us
can't
some.
help but look, like I'd be like,
Can
oh,
I get some
fuck.
dick ratings on each of them?
Yeah, that's not happening. You have to pay for the
For the Patreon, you guys
Patreon
you'll hear
version.
dick ratings of our friends.
Keely, you're the only one. Keely and Adam's the only one left I haven't seen.
Fear upstairs.
Dang, well, I'm gonna keep
On
that as long as
Sunday.
possible. Have you been to the onsen, Khili?
No, never.
Yeah, we should go. We should take a field
I've
trip.
gone to onsen, kind of like a hot spring.
Yeah.
Not Japanese onsen, like hot springs.
It's a really good way to spend the entire day.
Oh, and your body just feels like it's gone through some
Yeah.
rebirth. Refresh.
But it was crowded. It's kind of tough when it's crowded.
Yeah, Sundays are the most crowded. But like if you can go on a weekday, it's pretty good.
Do you get the passes, like the monthly?
I have a monthly pass. I have like I only buy vouchers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which gives you like, you can enter it. You can use them within like a 6-month period. Or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
I have a whole 10-day
Oh, that's
package,
right. Have
Thanks
you
to
used that yet?
thanks to all three of you.
Have you been
I
using
haven't
it?
used it yet, but I was going to today, but I had the podcast, so I thought I wouldn't have enough time.
Sorry.
But
Oh,
yeah, I'm
Winnie-
sure I'll use it.
When
but
I was at the onsen today, I was thinking, I wonder if Winnie has used any of those vouchers we bought her.
not just yet. I've been mainly getting massages lately, trying to just fix my back.
Is that working with the? Because I have office syndrome too.
Not at all. I mean, it helps for a few hours, and then by the next day on Monday, you go back to the office, and
No,
it
it
just
won't
comes
help.
back.
You have to
Just-
stretch and exercise and
exactly.
walk.
Yeah. Keep on, resume your workout routine.
Yeah, my yoga.
Everyone in America, when they know that I live in Thailand, asks about massages and stuff. And it's true. I get them all the time here. I never got them in America, and
It's just not affordable.
it's not affordable.
Yeah.
It's so expensive and like luxurious
Yeah.
over there that you just don't, unless it's like birthday present.
Right.
But here, and it's not like an elite thing. Like Thai people get massages all the time too. Like it's just very available and it's really nice.
Yeah, it's like a lifestyle here. So accessible.
Like this isn't the bragging corner, but we do get massages quite frequently. That is like a true stereotype, and it's lovely.
Khili got one last night. He's about to go back today. He just asked me it would be weird to go back 2 days in a row.
He
and
asked
I'm
me
just
the
like,
same
I'm
question.
sure it'll be flattering
That's
for
what
the
I
staff.
said. He thought it'd be weird, but I thought it that it's repeat customers. They like that. That's a good thing.
Okay.
Massage.
When I was in no, Khili, what was when I was in Varanasi, I was trying to get a massage
Why?
because I was in pain, dude. The bed sucked.
Okay.
I'm very
How was the
sensitive.
experience? I really want to know a massage experience.
No, well, it never happened because they split it by genders. They're like, if you get first of all, it's very hard to get.
Yeah.
And fine. And I had to ask some weird drug dealing, like, what's that? Oh, Lassie, like the Shroom Lassie guy, the weed Lassie guy. Like, I was asking him, and like, there's people, but he's like, if you're a man, it can only be with another man, or if it's a woman, it has to be with a woman. And like, I've had in India, like when they shave you, they massage, and I've never felt so much pain when they're like hammering on your shoulders and stuff. That I was just very afraid of getting like a male massage while I was there. So I just didn't. But I really wanted one because I was like in like a ton of pain from just the hard beds. And if it was time, but no, actually, you know where the only place I got a massage in India was in in Bodh Gaya, right, where they have the Buddha was under the tree.
Yeah.
There's all these different temples owned by different Buddhist countries.
Wow.
And they have one from like Japan and Cambodia, but Thailand's the biggest. And the royal family donated a lot to that area. And the Thai temple has massage places.
Fuck yeah.
So you can go get Thai massages and stuff. And you can even go and sleep there like for free if you want. Like the Thai pavilion's huge over there and it's really nice. But yeah, that was the only place I got was a Thai massage in the Thai temple. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Oh, it sounds like a to-do thing. I have to put that on my to-do list.
Bodh Gaya?
You know what else everyone has to put on their to-do list? Watching Nadaaniyan.
Okay, so sorry, let's go on.
Yeah. Oh, this movie.
I was putting it off.
Wet cardboard.
No, I can see why you're putting it off, Adam. I don't blame you.
So Nicky gave the rundown, but why did we watch it?
There is a very topical news happening. Winnie, would you mind explaining?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just saw on Instagram a lot of top comments about people complaining about how Nadaaniyan was in our generation. And I was wondering what this was. Turns out it was going viral on social media for being terrible. I'm not even on like Indian Instagram, but it was like flooding my feed.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, wow, this is like pretty big news. And then I read up about it. I found that article about the controversy with the lead actor getting angry at the Pakistani journalist. So I suggested we watch it.
Yeah.
3.1 rating on IMDb.
What did you
13%.
see on your clips? Like, what was popping up on your feed?
Just people complaining about it. If I looked up for it, but most of it was just comments.
But what
it
are
was
they
like
saying
the top
about
comments complaining that we got this movie in our generation. I don't remember exactly.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Karan Johar is like making this film, this school universe. Where he has like this. No, not in a like a
MCU thing.
Not in an MCU way, but it's like
Okay.
in a thematic way. Okay, like so he's making these films where these rich students go to a posh school and then there would be one guy who comes from apparently some poorer background, which is in Dharma Productions standard. They are not poor. They're
Yeah,
they're
very
super rich
rich.
as well, but like they're poorer than the industrialists, right? So there would be one guy. It's always a guy, and then they would be like looked down upon, like bullied for their economic condition and stuff like that, and then they would be the underdog hero kind of film. So he has done Student of the Year 2, and this film Nadaaniyan, and then this school also like looks like a reminiscent of Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, which was like Karan Johar's first directorial debut with
Shah Rukh Khan,
Kajol and.
Wow, a million times more charisma in those two people.
So there are a lot of kickbacks. If you remember, there was this principal of the school, Miss Braganza or something. Like who was like
using all of the
LOL.
WTF, OMG. all
yeah.
that,
So even
F
Kuch
you.
Kuch Hota Hai had the same actor. The character name was Miss Braganza, but that was not a school. That was a college.
Yeah.
But it's a kickback to the. I mean, it's a
And it would have made more sense if this.
reference to Karan Johar's earlier aesthetics.
She also played a prison warden in his other series. No, I'm kidding.
So that's the thing. Like he's repeating doing it, and he's known for launching kids from film family to Bollywood. Like so, it's like he has launched Alia Bhatt at one point, who turned out to be a really good actor later. But he has done with few other people.
He's kind of like Coppola in a way, where like I feel like where he kind of shepherds new people, but also his family is in a lot of the film industry as well. Maybe.
It's like for him, it's not his family. It's like other people's family because
Oh right.
Because he doesn't have kids.
We all laughing about having a family.
Khili, what do you call it? Openly closeted gay. Yeah, that's how Khili
That's the way to be,
Karan
man.
Johar status.
he's like openly closeted gay person.
Yeah. But this movie was also going viral because of the lead actor being Abraham Ali Khan, who is Saif Ali Khan's son.
And the daughter of Sridevi.
Is she also famous?
Sridevi was like a terrific actress in Bollywood.
Yeah.
Now,
so Nepo Baby.
She was amazing, and her already one daughter got debuted in one of the films. And I think this girl it's not her debut. It's a third or some film. And yeah, so they're like two kids from film family. Yeah.
But wasn't Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol even kind of Nepo babies too?
No, I don't think Shah Rukh Khan. I mean, these people had maybe some connection, but the Shah Rukh Khan is not quote unquote Nepo baby.
Hrithik
per se.
Roshan was.
Hrithik Roshan
yeah.
is.
Sure. It's just those guys have so much. I mean, because even if they are, I'm saying like, at least those guys had tremendous charisma
No, they're
and like
Nepo
were
kids,
really
like, who are-
hardworking.
Yeah,
So
they're
why were
good
these
ones.
put in this movie? They have nothing.
I think there have been always this influx of Nepo kids, and then some do well because they are good, and some doesn't. They get lost.
Yeah, it
But-
didn't seem like they spent a lot of money on this film. So
But I don't think he was terrible. He was receiving a lot of hatred on social media for terrible acting
Yes.
from critics as well for just being really bad with acting. I don't think it was that bad. I think it was just bad writing, bad plot. The movie was
Yeah,
worse
for
than the
me
acting.
also. Like I was talking to Winnie about it. Like for me, it also felt like terrible writing, worse direction. It's those those technicalities of the filmmaking were way worse than the acting part. I mean, acting. I think they were salvageable actors. These two kids, like they may not be that good, but they could have been okay under different circumstances, under different directors and stuff like
they
that.
can't dance though. They didn't even dance or
so
sing.
It was so not memorable. I don't remember the dances.
I don't remember any of them.
Yeah.
There's two music segments,
Yeah.
and it was very bland. Because at first I thought the movie just didn't have music at all. I was like, this is bad. And then they did it, and like you don't remember it at all.
Funniest thing, we were watching this film with my niece.
Actually, yeah, that's worth mentioning. And your nephew.
She's 17 and the characters are 17 after. So she was like very interested. Like when I offered her like, oh, we are going to watch this film for the podcast. And she was like, yes, I want to judge this film because all of my friends are like writing about it and like talking shit about it, this film. And then I want to watch this film and judge. I was like, yeah. Let's go and do it. And then after the film, the first thing she said, like, I am 17. I didn't relate a single thing, literally single thing in this film.
I mean, that's I think the key issue is like on every level, it's incredibly unrelatable. Like the actors are supposed to be in high school, but they all look like they're 25 and above. They are rich beyond up. Like the earlier films, like the Keijo films, right? Like they were aspirational and kind of fantastical, but in a way where like you didn't need it to be relatable. Like it was cool, just rich people living in a weird world. But then in this one, they're living in our world in places that exist like that with families that actually act like that. And it's not relatable. It's just insulting to watch. And like when she was saying, you know, that she gets a new car every year. I don't know who would enjoy looking at that or how that's not aspirational. It's just insulting to everyone else because you know that's true for them.
Is it?
I mean, what are they talking about? Like, that's not a realistic or cool thing to say if they're not. I feel like it's just true.
I remember one of the film family kids, Ranbir Kapoor. You know Ranbir Kapoor, right? Winnie? Yeah, he is like a good actor, right? So there was a interview he did with the newspaper, and where he said like, "Oh, we were so poor. We didn't even have a Mercedes or BMW or anything. We couldn't go to trip to Europe. Like all of my peers were going to trip to Europe. We were like we struggled a lot. Like we know what it is to struggle." So that came out on the newspaper, and people are like, so fucking, it's so hilarious. Like, what? Like, because you didn't have a Mercedes Benz, or you didn't have
you had the
BMW,
worst life
why, like,
ever.
you had like a Toyota or something. That's why, like, that's why that you struggled a lot. Like, like that's the struggle.
Every
a lot.
time I had to put the key in my Ford, I was crying.
You
Everyone was
couldn't
making
go
fun
to
of
Europe
me.
for your holidays. That's struggle. Yes, right. In India, like, it's a context of India, right? It's not a context of US or something. It's context of India. Yeah.
No,
It's absurd.
The conflict comes from because like she's in a high class where she gets a new car every year and everyone's just filthy rich, and then the guy she wants to be with is in a lower class of being a very upper class person with like a doctor for a father and an incredibly nice home, and he's like too lower class for them, but he is already insultingly rich, let alone her level. So again, it becomes just incredibly unrelatable because when they're like, this disgusting poor person wants to like date you, and then you see like an incredibly huge house and cars and like a rich family as well, and you're just like, if this is what they're calling poor, like, what is my life?
I mean, he belongs to top 5% of the population.
Right, but is that fun for anyone to watch that's outside of that bubble? That's what I think this movie completely failed on.
But it's interesting because like Kapi Kushi Kabhi Gum had the same level of wealth. Most of Karan Johar films always had the same level of wealth, and it related with the generation of that time. They still ate that up, but this time, like, this movie's been rejected by Gen Z completely.
Why do you think that is? I'm trying to figure it out too. Like, why did that level of wealth back then work better?
Because there's woke capitalism now, I guess, right? There's a lot of wokeness, and there's more like anti-elitism, anti-upper class.
Yeah. But those movies I think that he did back then do feel more dreamlike, I guess, or just like completely fantastical.
Well, back
and this
then,
doesn't.
I think we still bought into the idea of like the American dream or the capitalist dream, right? Where like you can work hard and attain that level of wealth that they have.
Yeah.
Right now, we know, like 20 years later, we know that's impossible, so we don't find it relatable or even desirable anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying this
We
would
think
be
it's
like the perfect propaganda film for Mao. To just be like, just chop everyone's heads off in these. Like, these people offer nothing. They have nothing like a value to give. Like, they are just complete parasites living like an extravagant wealth that are just doing nothing. Like, and the worst crimes, we have to like watch them do it, and they think it's like a good movie.
And also the plot sucks.
So what's the plot?
Dry.
So what's the plot?
Well, Adam briefly mentioned it, but has this like very rich socialite girl. I don't even know the actress.
She has 300,000 followers on Instagram in the movie.
In the movie, she has like her best friends who she's at war with because there's this guy, we'll just call him the fuck boy, and he's like just always constantly harassing our main character, where he's like trying to hook up with her, and like her best friend has a crush on him, and they don't want to speak to her because she's not doing anything to stop it. And like, I guess, what the people want to know is that like she is single as fuck, and she because of the shame that she has to live with, because that's so relatable.
No, I think it's because she was texting the guy.
Yeah,
that's why
she was not texting. She was not even replying.
He was texting her.
He was texting. She
but she didn't. Okay, so but whatever.
Yeah,
she's not afraid of being single, but her best friend found out that like the dude that she has a crush on has been texting her, and the friend hasn't totally shut it down. So therefore, she's ruining her best friend's life. So the girl's like, no, I didn't tell you. No, I'm not flirting with him. I have a boyfriend.
I have a boyfriend who this doesn't exist, and that's where our Nepo Baby main character comes in. Ibrahim Ali Khan. He plays like this supposedly middle class character that I do not relate with in any way.
No middle class person lives like that.
Yeah, and basically she's paying him to be her boyfriend.
Nicky, talk about the introduction scene of the guy for where he wins the chance to be a debate team captain.
Oh yeah, we have to get to that.
God,
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. Man. That's so forget. Yeah, it's like, oh god, what was
That was the best part. So they're in the debate club.
They're in this and there's this guy. Was it the fuckboy that was like?
No, there was
No,
a
it was like a
different guy.
debate guy.
It was a debate bully.
Debate bully. Okay. And then like he was saying like he was like making fun of our main character about his upbringing, and then like he does this powerful speech where like, you know, my family goes through hardships and I'm career focused and I come from Noida or something. Yeah. Noida, I don't know. And then like, I mean, by the end of the debate, he's like the bully was like completely owned and everyone was cheering for him. And for whatever reason, our main character gets up and like strips topless.
Yeah, he pulls his shirt up.
I don't know. I cannot imagine in any situation realistically where someone would be so pumped they would strip naked.
And a debate club.
He's standing over them, and they're all like clapping as he's just holding his shirt up to show off his six-pack at the debate club after he owns someone with logic.
Yeah, it was the last card up on his sleeves to like win over this debate bully that like he has abs. That's how he became that was the last nail on the coffin that he became the captain of the debate team.
So the kids are like, this guy is so sexy. We have to make him our leader.
But
this is debate club.
The whole point of him being topless is because it's a setup for the girl to walk in on the debate club to see that this man will be my boyfriend. That's literally the point.
He's smart and he works out. He just came to school, so I'm gonna pretend that he's been dating me. I'm gonna pay him.
She's gonna pay him like 25,000 rupee per week, which is roughly like $300.
It's about $300 a week.
Yeah.
So he's getting paid. That's solid.
That's a lot for India. It's a lot.
What's the average wage for India?
So if you've done a graduation, proper graduation, you get a job in an IT company. Most probably you are getting paid that per month, not a week. Yeah.
So you get paid 25,000 per month.
Yeah, if you're starting a job, that's the usual white collar starting salary.
So this 15,000 a week, he's getting like 60,000 a month.
No.
Yeah, he is.
15,000.
25,000 he's getting.
Oh yeah, 100,000.
100,000.
Oh, wow.
So
how much is
100,000 is like a.
So it's like $1,000.
It's like a mid-level corporate employee salary.
Yeah. A very lucrative deal.
So again, way unrelatable. I think when you're like the majority of people watching Netflix being like, that is more than like both my parents make.
So even if a Gen Z sees it, like if their uncle or like me or like. Like elder cousins or like brothers or sisters, they're earning people, and they were like, none of them, even the parents, none of them earn that much of money.
It's crazy. How insulting is that if you watch that and you're like, this high schooler is getting paid this much to take a few photos with this woman? Yeah, my eyes would go red.
Yeah. You get this cringe-worthy like montage where like she started taking photos of him on social media, sharing his like you know, doing like a soft launch as the kids would call it these days. Soft launch where you like subtly like reveal certain parts of your partner's
Have you guys ever done that?
Also, like
I've done that in the past. Yes.
The fact that nobody recognized that it was him, even though there were parts where like you could see his body.
And he showed off his six-pack to all these guys before.
Yeah.
They all studied that. They know exactly what he looks like.
And then that resolves the conflict that we had in the beginning. Like, oh, you know, her friends didn't like her because, you know, they thought that she was having an affair with the fuckboy. And then they easily, like, wrap that plot point completely.
Right. That's the other issue with the movies. There's no primary driving. Yeah. Because it's very episodic. It just keeps going to one issue to the next. So like, we need to talk about class issue and then race issue and parent issue, and they just kind of hit all the checklists.
Yeah, I feel like there was almost no social commentary on this.
Besides, they tried to.
No, there was a gender. There was a class.
They tried to.
It poses as a social commentary.
No, I know. I'm not saying it did it well. I'm just saying like it just kind of check things off its list and then, you know.
Yeah, and the point that it's so regressive. The film itself is so regressive in its social outlook. It's nauseating.
Like how though?
This girl, like you were showing this girl is like sidelining the main actor because she is not stopping a stalker to like what I mean, this he was definitely stalking her and like harassing her over messages and stuff.
But then he addresses it later on in his speech about how they're not real friends if they're going to do that. So I feel like they end up painting that friendship dynamic in a negative light to show that it's wrong. And then there's a whole point about empowering her to, you know, be a lawyer woman because her dad always wanted a son. So I feel like they tried to be progressive to appeal to the Gen Z crowd. But the context of the film was so unrelatable that I don't think any of the messages really got across.
This is a genuine question I have. A major plot point is the dad hasn't had dinner with them, I guess, her whole life. Because when the boy comes over, she's like, this is the first time dad's ever had dinner with me or something. And she thinks that her dad's never talked to her because he always wanted a son and was disappointed that he had a daughter. Now, but my question is, well, the dad is surprised that she wants to be a lawyer and has never ever asked her any questions or knows anything about her. And he says, no, that's not the reason why I never talked to you. But what was the reason? Like, did I miss it? Or did he ever explain why he never did? Because he did say, like, it's not because you're a woman. I didn't need a son.
I think he was gaslighting her.
But but I didn't understand what was the reason he never had dinner with her.
He assumed that she was going to go to university for art or crafts or something like that. So it might have just been that he never saw her in an intellectual light. Creative at most,
that's
because
why he
she's
never
a woman.
felt reason to talk to her.
Yeah.
He's like, why did I talk to
So not
someone
because
who's
of
gonna
woman,
go
but-
to an art school?
But it's still because of women. It's a traditional gender role that he just used to judge his own
That's
daughter
what
instead
I'm
of getting to
saying.
know her.
So the men never talk to women in the family. Like the men never talk to their women kids.
Yeah.
So because at first they decide they think they already decide that they're not gonna be smart because they're women and I don't want to talk to an unsmart kid.
But then he said, no, like, it's not because of that. It's not because I wanted a son. But I never heard the part of why he did do that then. And I couldn't figure out if I missed it or not.
It was never
he just
told.
never answers
It was never
why.
said,
So he
actually.
just completely ignored her, didn't have dinner with her, not because she's a girl, but just because he's a bad father and would have done it to anyone.
Something to do with the mother as well. So the mother was complaining that, in this family, like if you cannot provide a son, quote unquote, provide a son, that you don't have respect as a wife. So she was always up about up on his arse about like producing a son. And then since she was always about making a son, the guy was disgusted about her, so he started a relationship with another woman outside. And then she was like, no, I did it because that was expected of me from this family. That's why I was so up. And he was like, I didn't want that. And she's like, who gives a fuck what you wanted? Like, have you seen your father, like how he treats me? So it's kind of tries to address a multi-tiered fashion of like gender roles in a patriarchal Indian family where it's not only about husband is patriarchal, but there would be another set of people like your in-laws who are all more patriarchal because they come from the different generation and they will have the power over the dictation, like how the family runs. So the women end up like the wives end up falling prey to the patriarchy while practicing patriarchy as well. So that's kind of interesting because to see, but I cannot give the credit to the film because it was shown in like one sentence.
Yeah, they just showed the old grandfather sitting at the table.
I'm talking so many things because I've seen like many Bollywood films and I'm from India. I've seen these dynamics being played out again and again. So that's why I'm saying it. But in the film, it happens literally in one sentence.
We should say, so he has an affair, and then she does give birth to a son.
No.
Well, they didn't
She gets
reveal
pregnant.
that.
Well,
They
we don't.
didn't
Okay, we don't know if
reveal.
it's a
Yeah,
son.
yeah.
She gets pregnant.
Yeah.
And then he finds out, like the girl sees it flashing on like the dad's cell phone, so they find out he's been cheating, and then he immediately gets a divorce. He's like, I have a new family. I'm leaving now. Bye. That's just how it goes. Which is the least Indian thing I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, you cannot have, like, you were a millionaire, like an industrialist. You cannot have one kid out of your wedlock.
It
wow,
was
good rationalizing. Wow.
I'm just saying he goes so against the grain, but they made it seem like that's the rule. Like,
Well, I
you
think
just
they're
had-
also maybe trying to show the progressiveness of the film, like
What is
where
the progressiveness here?
divorce is allowed, right? Because like,
What?
But
You
her, she
leave
got
your
nothing.
wife?
The mom like lost everything.
But
It
we don't-
appeared.
You leave your wife because you cheated on her and had like she didn't even ask for divorce.
yes. I mean, I don't think it's progressive
How
in
is
the
it
sense that the woman
progressive?
should have asked for the divorce, but in the sense that
How is
back
it
in the day, you
progressive?
could have.
It's like you cheated on someone and then suddenly like, oh, get the fuck out of here because I cheated on you.
I'm gonna abandon my fam. I'm so woke.
But you don't really
I
see
would've-
divorce in other Indian movies, so the
No,
fact
no,
that
there
divorce
are.
is
It's
like
not that bad. There
Well
are
versed to have an
divorces a
opinion on
lot.
this part.
I mean, it's the most anti-Thai thing too, for the most part. Like where they're like, I have like, I'm not saying like everyone like cheats on their spouse or anything, but I've never seen it where like the guy feels like it's his societal obligation to go be with the family he cheated on with.
okay, but what's the alternative? Because it seems like everyone knew he had an affair, right?
take care of both
They all knew
kids.
he had a mistress.
Take care of the both kids.
Yes,
And
but
you don't have to
He like abandoned her and she got nothing.
we don't know that. We don't know the divorce proceedings. We just saw the conversation where he said that he wants a divorce because he's not in love, because he's actually in love with his mistress. Right?
And
So
why, and why is she leaving the house again?
Yeah, they lost like money and had to move and stuff.
They went back to the
Because
The grandmother's
she,
house.
Yeah,
she-
yeah.
because he cheated on her. They have like enough proof, like enough everything. I mean, definitely she would get like a whole lot of money, and then like most probably if the house is under the name of his father, then it's out
yeah,
of the window.
but we don't get too much exposure into the divorce.
I wish
proceedings.
it was
We
a
just-
divorce
I
court
wish the
movie.
film was
Fine.
about the divorce.
I want to see what a set she gets.
And okay, we almost had the
we
Three-fourths
of the
skipped.
film
like
at this
two-thirds of
point.
the
Like,
way
why?
now.
How? Okay.
The thing that I find so frustrating about this movie is that there's so much happening in that 2-hour frame, and yet I can't really remember anything. There's
So many things happening. And
Oh, they
nothing
have
is
bonfire
remarkable.
night.
What is Bonfire Night?
They keep talking about bonfire night, and in subtitles it's capital letters. But I asked you and your niece and nephew; they have no idea what bonfire night is. I assumed it was like a prom thing,
It sounded like a prom thing.
It's nothing. It
but they acted
it
like we
made-
all know what bonfire
But
night
we
is.
ended up seeing the bonfire night, and
There
it was,
was
like,
no bonfire.
It,
was the thing.
it was like this AI,
It
this
was like
electric.
it was like a postmodern like art sculpture.
yeah, there was no bonfire.
bonfire.
So what? But that's why it makes me think bonfire is even more of a thing, because like it used to be a bonfire, and now it's like these lights, but no
Yeah.
one has any clue what bonfire night is.
never
But they put a
seen
lot of lore into what bonfire night is in the
I
movie.
I can understand what they were doing here. They were showing that it's a tradition in the school or in that fictional world that these people live in, and everyone knows about bonfire night in the film. And we kind of accept that, okay, for you guys, bonfire night is a big thing. And we
Yeah.
accept that and we watch on that context because
I think it's
no
all
one
the.
has bonfire night. Like in Delhi, like, what the hell?
I think it's a secret, rich, elite thing that they do.
that we don't know.
where they
That
have a
can be-
big
that can
bonfire
be
and they throw all the plebs
where
and
all
the virgins
matchmaking
in.
happens, like all the industrial matchmaking.
Yeah, they plot out the next 10 years over the
Yeah.
bonfire. And now the kids do it.
all the startup discussions. Like what
Oh,
startup
shoot. That is the other thing.
Oh, we have to get to the startups,
No,
right?
remember
Oh,
that
no.
his dream, remember?
Oh yeah, Drew. Okay, before that, we have to be thankful to Netflix. Do you remember that? Like, what are you thankful for today?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Netflix was advertising itself on the movie.
They always get a shout out in every property. They
Okay, we have to talk about the mood board. Do you remember
Vision
the
board.
The vision board. Sorry, not mood board. Yeah.
So he has a vision. Everyone has a vision board in this movie, including the very poor guy. And his vision is to is to like get rich or something and go to a nice university and then come back to India and make an app.
No. He was not supposed to go to outside. So that's
Oh,
what
that's
I was
right.
like shouting, like, how does it change anything to your plan if you go abroad to study?
Well, okay, so the end goal though is he wants to make an app that connects common people to lawyers,
Yeah.
which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard because like I think that already exists. They do have lawyers, and I don't think that solves the issue of them affording the lawyer or not.
Yeah.
I don't think the issue is finding one. I think it's, can I afford a lawyer and would that
Yes.
help? So yes, this guy wanted to make an app to connect
I think
lawyers
also-
to common
but
people.
It could be also that, so you have like a slight problem and you don't want to hire a whole lawyer for it. You just go to the app, post a question, and there are like bunch of lawyers, paid lawyers by the app company, who will see your question and answer it like, oh yeah, you can do this. And if for more action, okay, you can hire someone. That would be a nice.
You put more thought into it, but he acted like it was going to be a guaranteed
because I'm not a
hit.
17-year-old.
So why did he not want to leave India for this?
Yeah, that made no sense. So in his vision board, he's going to the top law university in India, and then he becomes topper every semester, and then he gets the best job possible from the law college, and then he saves up some money for a few years, and then he opens the app. That's his vision board. And now in this thing, it doesn't make any sense that why would he not go abroad? I mean, if he goes abroad, he can earn in like stronger currency and save the money quicker, and then come back to India and make the app anyway. So what is stopping him?
He's from a middle class family. I think
So
the
he
whole
doesn't want the education loan, but he was getting the full scholarship.
He did in the end, right? After the girl encouraged him to aim higher.
No,
Yeah,
the Miss
and-
Braganza was telling
Yeah.
her. No, Miss Braganza was already telling him that you will get the full scholarship. Think about
That was
it.
so funny too, the way that they think scholarships work. Because her advisor, Winnie, tell me if this
Oh, a
is the
sports
case.
scholarship. He was banking on getting a sports scholarship because he was the captain of the swim team,
Oh.
Oh, we
right?
never saw him swimming though.
Yeah,
It
I don't
was all
remember
in
that
the
at all.
words. Oh my god.
But that was his description, opening description.
Oh, he was.
Right.
No, there was briefly, he was in the pool, I think.
Yeah. So he was gonna get a sports scholarship, and then he did end up in the end of the movie getting a sports scholarship.
Good filmmaking. This
go
really
to the
established
UK.
Debate
his pool.
scholarship.
To go, what?
He didn't get the debate scholarship.
I mean, he became captain of the debate team by showing off his six pack. So we never really see his lawyer skills or if he has the capacity to become a lawyer. Maybe that's why he's banking on the app.
He got captain of the pool team with his good debate skills.
And then he became captain of the debate team with his good
Abs.
swimming abs.
Yeah. I
Abs.
think the way they just give him the scholarship, like the college advisor is like, you get the special scholarship where you can go to any school in the UK you want for free. We all just love you so much. Pick whatever school you want. That is a very magical scholarship. And I think to every other kid, that's just called having rich parents. I don't think, and they think that could just apply to anyone, but you don't just have the advisor say like, look, the university's reached out and they just love you so much. You can go to any UK. And then he has a real tough choice of figuring out where he wants to go.
We should talk about how they fall in love because it's a rom-com. So this is kind of like central to the movie. How
Okay.
she pays for
Yeah,
him and then eventually
We
starts
go back
to
to
fall.
Nicky for help for
Yeah.
the plot line.
Fuck, man. All I remember is that like there was that stupid dinner scene where they I don't know. Fuck, what was Pia, the lead girl? Her father saw that, you know, Aryan is like lawyer material or something, and then like, you know, with Aryan's suggestion that Pia should be in the debate team, and then he was like defending her because her father was being like misogynistic, I guess.
The father didn't think that girls can be lawyers.
No.
But do you
No,
remember
no.
how she proved that she can debate?
Vaccines. Being knowledgeable on medicals.
Yeah,
No.
why vaccine shouldn't be free.
Yes.
Why vaccines should be for profit.
Yeah.
And she gives a whole debate on why we need to extract profit from the vaccine process. And the dad almost breaks down in tears because he's like, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever
was-
heard.
Yeah, it was the most forced scene. I hated it.
At that, I was
about
very
it.
angry at that moment that she like. First of all, she uses debate points that like any dumb baby can come up with. But then the fact that her father's like, "You're a genius." Like, wow, we could make money from vaccines. You're right. I never thought about it this way. Like, that's very morally bankrupt that they're applauding her on this point.
Yeah,
I
but
think the father realizes that the women can be
Exactly.
equally morally bankrupt and,
Yeah.
and be
Oh
part
my
of our business.
Yeah,
no,
she
because
can
it's
run my
harder. Because
business.
it's harder to argue for the fact that vaccines should be charged.
And she didn't do a great job at it.
She did ish enough for her dad.
Her dad's a
misogynistic
dummy.
dad.
For how things are running in this film.
But
to
it's
be
actually
honest.
interesting that they chose this, like if you think about the director of the movie, why did they choose this debate, that side of the argument to present?
Yeah, it is a good yes. This is a message they want to say.
Exactly.
They chose that. Yeah, and I think it's gonna fall on deaf ears. I don't know how many people love to hear that.
What was the debate?
I don't think the writer ever been a part of debate team, because in debate competition you cannot choose for or against. I guess it's a decision. You were assigned.
Yeah.
So he was like, why did you choose this side? Because the other side would have been easier to defend. And she said like, no, I wanted to show something that I can win a harder argument. I'm like, no, you cannot choose.
Her argument was that vaccines cost money to make, and so we need to pay for it.
Well, basically also that you need to be able to fund future studies for future vaccines. So you need to be able to contribute to it so that it's more sustainable. If it's free, then research would not be sustainable.
I don't think any set group of people who like argues for free vaccine wants the researcher to be not paid.
No, but
or like to have no future vaccines.
I mean, if you think about how much money the pharma industry is bringing in, like you really don't need to charge for the vaccines. I have more than enough to be able to cover more science and development.
That with the capitalist system.
It's fine. We got polio just fine, and people didn't stop making vaccines because of it. It's okay.
But this point kind of is in trend with the theme of the movie, right? Being very pro-elite, pro-capitalism. So
it's very revealing that's what they think is like an interesting thing to talk about.
Right.
It's very revealing. But again, I think that's what is so revealing is just how out of touch they are with everyone. And in more of an insult. And I guess the greatest sin is that the movie's not entertaining. I guess that's it. Because at least the older films were entertaining. And so if you can't even be fun to watch, then it's just not, and it's not relatable. Like, of course, you're going to get the ire of everyone.
It's not relatable. It's not memorable. There's nothing that I tried to recount anything. I don't remember anything. There was nothing fascinating about it.
So how does it end? They go to bonfire night.
So no, wait. We didn't cover like one specific plot point. Is when Pia's family gets a divorce. She meets her childhood friend, the rich boy.
Oh yeah,
the rich boy, and
he's
then
a prince.
He's a prince.
The prince.
Oh, thank you.
Because that's normal.
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't cover
Been
that.
there.
So that
how many princes do you swipe
oh
on
my
Bumble?
gosh. Oh, every day. Yeah.
Yeah, the prince is like, I don't know. He's like that typical conflict in rom-com, the one that does all the misunderstanding. They went out for one night, and then people, because he's a prince, like the paparazzi decided to take photos and videos and upload it on social media. And with a lot of debate competition going around, I don't remember a scene about debate at all. I don't remember anything.
It was just abs. It was just abs.
There was because for debate you have to actually study about the current politics or current topics, and then write the right argument to show on screen that debate is happening for the writers. Right? They have to write proper arguments to show on screen. I think they didn't want to do that.
Because like the whole reason that they fell in love is because they're preparing for a debate, right?
Yeah, there was no debate.
You're right. There wasn't a debate.
Watching a sports film without having any sports involved in the.
It's like Mighty Ducks, and they just never get on the ice rink at all.
It's like and then there was another thing, like when the paparazzi take photo of. So basically, she was giving a hug to the prince guy, right?
Yes.
But later when we saw the photos, like it was a very romantic stare. Like they were like holding hands and like whatnot. Like when did all that happen? Is it AI? Like,
it looked like AI manipulation.
They took like a hugging photo.
He has 6 fingers,
and then like they created those photos out of nowhere, because. Never saw that happening. Like they're holding like their arm and then like staring into each other's eye, like a total romantic like pose. That never happened. They were just walking side by side, talking about things, and then just hugged because he was very supportive to her. That's what happened. And the photos came out.
The mom wants her to be with the prince because he's just super rich and can give her all the money she needs. But also the guy that she is pining for is not poor again. So like it's that's why it's not super. He's not living in the slums. Like his dad's a doctor. They're all very rich. He's getting a full-fledged scholarship to the UK. He's fine.
You know who we need in this film?
Who?
Disco dancer.
Yeah, he would get a machine gun. He would do like the Matrix scene where he loads up on all this arsenal, go in there and act like a 12-year-old in like a Doom mod, just blowing the place up.
There.
It sounds like a school shooting.
He would commit. No. He would just be spraying everyone down.
Just so we don't condone the Columbine shooting.
America, could you tell?
Just more disclaimer: we don't condone any school shooting in America.
My only solution is just gunfights. Yeah, sorry.
No,
my culture, Khili. Don't knock it.
The fuck out of them.
Oh, okay, that's it.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, breakdance. Sure.
And maybe like electrocute the guitar
with machine gun legs.
The debate mic stand. Electrocute the debate mic stand. Oh, that would have been the fine thing. Like
his mom could just beat everyone over the head with an electrocuted microphone stand.
Yeah. Disco. I mean, that's what I was getting at. Like, you know, like when the rich versus poor narrative in Disco Dancer, where he's literally living in the slum and then fighting the industrialists.
Yeah.
And then here he's doctors and
he's like a super rich dude,
like a huge house. And then
so there's no downside if she dates him. They keep trying to set that up as like he's from a different class. His last name's bad. He's not a prince.
Wait,
but he's like the biggest catch in the world.
What was his last name?
Remember all the kids were making fun of his last name?
So they keep talking about where he's from. Where's he
Noida.
from? Noida. Yeah, what is the significance of Noida?
No idea because I lived in...
Noida stands for no idea.
Yeah, I think so. Because I lived near Noida. I mean, Noida is this new place next to New Delhi, which falls... So around New Delhi, there are like two places, Gurgaon and Noida. And with New Delhi, it kind of becomes National Capital Region, NCR. So where they would establish all the business, all the industries, because Delhi is like a not small, but it doesn't have enough space for expansions, right? So they created this National Capital Region. Noida is part of that. Noida falls in another state, but I saw it developed in front of my eyes, and then it has huge society, like it has rich people.
But see, that's the issue. It grew. It's new rich. That's what they have with it.
Old rich is like looking down upon it.
It's new money.
Okay, that makes sense.
So they hate it.
New money.
Fakers.
Yeah. And he does represent kind of like new money, working class. His father's a doctor.
His dad
mom's
actually
a
worked
teacher.
for it, so they hate him.
Oh yeah.
You work for your money? Your dad worked for the money?
Disgusting. He saves people. Disgusting.
He doesn't scams people for money? Oh my god.
Gross. You can't marry him. You have to marry the prince that contributes nothing.
Yeah.
He's much better.
New money. Are we trying to say the movie's doing a smart observation? No.
Very smart.
We are doing a smart observation for the dumb movie.
That can't be
It's
right.
just they have like a huge axe to grind with these new money crowds, and this is their chance to say it.
And this guy is the personal doctor of a uber rich family, so
no, it makes
he's
no
not
sense.
even a struggling doctor.
But he's the help. He's the help.
And his mom.
For them, it's the same as like the servant. You have a servant. You have a personal doctor. It's worthless. You know what I mean?
And his mom's a teacher at the school that they're at, which obviously seems to be a very expensive private school.
So he gets in for free too.
Yeah. So also, he doesn't seem like he's doing that bad.
They both have to be employed though, is the problem. And if any of those, if they lose their job, he's screwed, and that's a class you don't want to deal with.
And a prerequisite is also white crime. Your family has had to commit some sort of white crime to be eligible bachelor.
Correct. Yeah. So, what are we at the end? I want to talk about the drama that Winnie found out. I want to talk about his statement. I want to talk about the reaction.
The only thing that I can only think about is that, you know, after the misunderstanding with the prince occurred, like we get the scene where he kind of just confronts Pia and then gives this speech about, like, does the reveal that he's been paid to be her boyfriend, and then he makes a speech about how all you rich people are so fake with your social media and your likes, and that guy's sleeping around with a lot of women, and you should know that.
And then the guy high fives himself. He's like, "Yeah, I rule."
Like, yeah, that was like, I feel like the message, he was trying to make some sort of commentary on that, but it just feels so half-baked, so
Right.
so
If he again was actually from like disco dancer world, he would have legitimate criticisms. But because all these people are in this rich bubble, the only like sin they think they're committing is like gossip or being a playboy, perhaps. Like their world is so small that they don't even know how people would legitimately criticize them. Yeah. So it comes out super bland.
Yeah. And then like I guess to wrap it up, he tries to apply for like universities and
he gets it. He gets to go to any UK university he wants.
He gets it, but then like I think we find out that it was Pia that sent the application.
His personal statement.
Personal statement.
Because his was too angry.
His was too angry.
Oh, that made me. That's right.
Yeah, that's it. That was the.
That's right. No, you're right. He got criticized because he was sending a letter, and we never get to see it. But they're like, "You're being way too aggressive in your personal statement. You need to tone down your aggressiveness. Stop being an uppity poor person that has any complaints. You need to tone it down." And he refuses, but they just paternally do it for him anyway and send it, and he gets in. And he's supposed to thank them and lick more boots.
Pia doesn't go for what reason?
Her parents are divorced, man.
That's why. That's how the best. That should be the best reason to like move the fuck out of there.
She can't afford it anymore. She's super poor because the guy made the right thing and abandoned his family for the mistress he was with. The morally right thing to do.
They're gonna get a huge sum of money.
Well, she's stuck in India now, crying, and he gets to go to the UK. Yeah,
he has to pay for her education. Doesn't matter he's divorcing or whatnot.
Exactly.
Like, he has to pay for his daughter's.
But maybe
education.
she cannot leave her mom alone now that she's divorcee.
But the mom has her mom and a friend circle.
And then,
she could easily go. Like none of the people, like when the guy told that he cannot go abroad to study, the reason was like never good enough. And the girl, when she doesn't go to abroad, she doesn't have a good enough reason to not go. So I think the writers, like the part of the society they come from, they never have like they couldn't even cook up a proper reason like why a person cannot leave the country. Yeah. I think they don't know that what the reasons actually could be.
It's not finances. It's not visa. It's kind of just weird choice.
Yeah, they never cook. I've seen many people who couldn't go to abroad for reason like even if they had chance.
Yeah, I talk to them every day at my job. Yeah,
for proper reasons like they couldn't leave. They don't have any proper reasons, and they couldn't even write a proper reason for them to not leave the country.
Here's the thing. So, because, I work with a lot of Indian students that are trying to, like, study in America, and every one of their little sentences about why they cannot go has more drama and story than this entire movie. Of, like, why they can't afford it or some issue going on with their family is vastly more interesting and complicated than whatever this movie says and has 2 hours to say.
Actually, Khili, now that you point out, it's a very regressive ending. Like, the movie spends so much time trying to build up her character, show her capabilities to do law, prove that women can do that just as much as men. And then, in the end, she just doesn't pursue it.
She stays in India.
Yeah, like, it would have been such a sad ending if he stayed and he didn't get to pursue his vision board. But, like, when it didn't happen for her, there's no reasoning behind it. Nothing.
The thing that pissed me off the most was the very finale at Bonfire Night, wherever the fuck that is. It's like, he just gives that, like, I love you speech and then proposes to her. Like, what?
Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
What the fuck?
Why? For what? Marriage?
Marriage.
Oh my god. I think I zoned out by that.
Yeah, I don't even remember. He proposed.
He did. He had that weird ring, right?
Weird ring, and then they promise that, like, they'll come back once they're done with their studies. So he flies off to the UK while she stays in India, and then they're gonna get back and marry. What the fuck?
They're 17, by the way. They're 17. And
he's getting a hand job on the plane to university by some other chick. It's not happening.
watched this entire drama movie, and they're gonna break up in 3 months at most. Anyway,
there was
the
a
moment
scene
he's
where
in
the
UK.
father was like having a heart-to-heart conversation,
Encouraging him.
like it's like she's your Juliet, like she's the one. If she's the one, then go for it. Like a 17-year-old kid, like
That's
he was
bad
selling,
parenting.
that's bad parenting.
Drop everything and marry this woman who doesn't really like you.
I think this is a very regressive group of people thinking
No shit.
of themselves as progressive and trying to
That's
make
true,
progressive
yeah.
argument in the film.
They must
But
be so proud of
At their
themselves.
core and at their outlook towards society and everything, they're super regressive people.
They're so proud of themselves.
Yeah,
They're
they're
like,
so-
I had a
I did.
non-racist thought today. I think everyone should applaud me.
Yeah.
Like, we made a movie about women's empowerment. Now women are gonna pursue law in India.
She's a girl boss. So, even though the schools are really dirty here and bad, even a woman can do it though.
Oh gosh, I think we checked how much time there was left in the movie about like 5 or 6 times while watching it.
Yeah, I
You
thought.
almost walked out like 5-6
I
times.
almost walked out. I did not though.
What was your niece's final thoughts on the movie?
That's the only thing she said. And she's like, it was fun watching with us, but nothing else was fun about the film. Yeah.
What was really fun though was watching the three of you try so hard to not swear because there was a 9-year-old
What?
in the room.
Me? No.
Oh, what do you mean? Khili was the worst. Like,
Yeah,
Khili is the
we
uncle
were not
here.
swearing.
Yeah.
Khili was swearing up a storm, and I
Khili
had to
was
like,
I just
fuck,
said
shit.
asshole and shit.
no,
I
you
just
weren't.
swear.
You were
You
saying
said
more.
fuck at one point.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. But is shit swearing? Like,
I don't know. That's why I did. I was like, "Hey, Khili, I don't know if this is wrong. I don't know what they're used to hearing, but like you're swearing." I
here's the
noticed it.
thing.
Adam,
Like,
you nearly called his nephew, a 9-year-old, a dick.
No,
and
I
then
didn't.
he wanted
But I didn't. But I didn't.
You're like, I heard the D. I heard the D.
No, but I
Nick
didn't.
and I looked at each other like, what?
I held my tongue. I did not swear that entire night. I'm actually pretty good about holding my tongue around kids. I'm like Uncle Khili over here.
Yeah, Khili lost. Like, you swear the most.
That
and they
swear
were your
jar was
uncle.
full of money.
You just traumatized them. Like, Uncle Khili, what happened to
I
Uncle
think
Who
I
Khili?
was
is he?
like-
Who does he become at night?
No, wait, so when I
No, this is
switched
his
to
English version.
Yeah, the English version doesn't come with like PG-13.
You usually speak to them in Bengali, right?
Yeah.
So they just saw you speak and
like,
criticize in English.
In Bengali, I have
You're living a lie.
two different way of talking. Like when I'm with friends, like I'm swearing left and right, and when I'm with family and like family and kids, I'm totally into like not swearing, and then like
Totally did not swear.
like it's no. Initially, it took a lot of effort from me to not swear in front of them, but then then I got used to it. Now I barely like anything slips out. But in English, I didn't have the practice. So.
Yeah, then the nephew beat us all in Tekken. And we all held our tongue, except for Winnie.
What?
He didn't beat you.
No, he won.
Oh, yeah.
He won, yeah. How much of that was like genuine on your guys'
I did
part?
lose, legitimately.
You did lose.
That's why I almost
legitimately.
called him a dick. That was genuine.
No, I was holding back there.
Oh,
I
okay.
was holding back.
I didn't want to beat this kid.
Oh no, I really
Yeah.
lost to him bad.
No,
I was pissed.
going super easy. Like, one side of me was like, should I just win so that maybe he'll think like girls can play video games? It'll be a life lesson. And then the other
You
part
should
of me
have
was
won.
like, no, he's a kid.
You
Let
should
him
never
win.
go easy on kids.
And all of you guys let him win. So I was like, I can't be the dick now and be the only one who wins.
I did
So
not let him win.
I wanted you to do the right thing in Avengers.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
dare you? I was really trying hard. And the kid destroyed me.
Oh, man.
I was beating him in football all the time. And he legitimately beat me like 2-3 games.
Yeah,
But,
he beat you in FIFA 10-5.
No, that was mine was 10.
Not according to him.
No.
What was the controversy of this movie?
Oh, yeah.
Adam, keep on going back.
I just want to talk about this text.
So the movie was heavily criticized, of course, but one notable criticism came from a Pakistani journalist, Taimur Iqbal. And he criticized the movie and Ibrahim's nose. So I don't know if you guys noticed his nose. It was a little bit on the bigger side, right? He has like the bridge. So I think that's where he crossed the line, because for the most part, I think Ibrahim has been handling the negative criticism well, but this is where he shot back. So he
Wait, what did he say about the nose? Just he was saying he has a big nose?
something like I think he accused him of getting a nose job or suggested he get a nose job, something like that,
That
right?
was the
Yeah.
thing that set him off.
Right. So it was like negative reviews about his acting, the movie, and the nose. And I think that's where like it also became viral on social media because some of his fans were like, "Yeah, that's crossing a line. You shouldn't like
I agree.
take a dig on someone's appearance." But
A 17-year-old kid? No.
Abraham took a lot of offense to it and slid into this journalist's DMs on Instagram.
Oh, yeah,
And
there's a
goes,
screenshot and everything.
Yeah. Tamur, almost like Tamur, you got my brother's name. Guess what you don't got? His face. You ugly piece of trash. Since you can't keep your words to yourself, don't bother. They're irrelevant just like you. Ugly goddamn piece of shit. I feel bad for you and your family. And if I see you on the streets one day, I'll make sure I leave you uglier than you are. You walking piece of scum.
Jesus Christ.
That's really aggressive.
That sounds
That is
17 years.
hardcore.
How old is this guy actually in real?
Abraham, I think early 20s.
This is a real dumb move on his part to have that in writing and some guy that already doesn't like you's DMs. Like, that's a massive L.
I also like the journalist's response. He goes, a lot of ha 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 laughing. That's my man. See, this is the guy I want to see in the movie, not that fake cornetto, mushy, cringy human. But hey, yes, that nose job comment was in bad taste. Rest, I totally own up. Massive fan of your dad. Don't let him down.
Holy crap.
Oh, that's so brutal.
Wowie,
That
wowie,
is
wowie.
so brutal.
That's some disco dancer energy right there.
Yes, I wanted that. Like,
Now
where
that's
was
more interesting
that?
than the whole movie.
That is so true. That again, that guy wrote a way more interesting text, and that text had better writing than any of this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Savage, man.
Apparently it went on for a while until it got a bit more heated, and then Abraham just blocked the journalist on Instagram.
But that reply was one of the
That was a
dopest
good-
things.
yeah.
He owned up to his fault, like, yeah, the nose thing I shouldn't have done, but like this energy, yeah, bring that to the film.
That was like
Also, like
Eminem.
you're letting your dad down in a very
Yeah.
indirect
Brutal.
way.
That was like Eminem at like the end of 8 Mile, just owning the other dude.
To be honest, like Saif Ali Khan used to be ridiculed a lot in his earlier days. Also, like he had a very, very thin voice, like not a very masculine baritone voice. He had a very thin voice, which was like associated with like being feminine. And then he was like very fair, ultra fair, and like he has bit of like effeminate traits in those days Bollywood standard. So he was always looked as not a strong hero, right? So I think the first time when the perception changed was he did a negative role, like a villain, portrayed a villain, and he nailed the role, terrific acting, and looked like totally masculine. I think he did some plastic surgery, some certain kind already. Like he also had a huge nose thingy, like, and then I think he did something on his nose as well. So yeah, Saif Ali Khan also went through like bunch of bullying when he started, and I think he also bullied back.
Yeah.
people
So
like that. We were saying there's an anecdote, right?
yeah, so this whole controversy brought up another controversy with Saif Ali Khan, the father, back in 1995, where a journalist criticized his movie with Akshay Kumar. I don't know which one it was, Khili.
Main Khiladi tu Anari.
Yeah, and so he gets very offended and goes to the journalist's house and punches him, and allegedly also pushes his elderly mother away
Whoa.
when the mother tried to intervene.
Wow.
It was a perfect cast because what I said, the film's name, it literally translates to "I am the player, you are the loser," kind of. So it was saying that like Akshay Kumar is the player and Saif Ali Khan's character was the kind of a loser because he was playing an actor who is learning from the cop. Akshay Kumar was the cop to how to act as a cop on screen. So he was like
Internalizing cop behavior.
yeah. Like he was following him to like for a character study, and then he was on his case. It's an action film. Like he was on a case, and then he somehow gets tagged along as it becomes a buddy film, where he's like somewhat is not able to fight in real situation and stuff like that because he's just an actor. And he learned stuff from Akshay Kumar.
Yeah, so
and,
the
like,
journalist, yeah.
So he used to get stereotyped like those kind of roles where he's not a macho hero, right? And then
I think the journalist talked about how
maybe
the teaming up with Akshay Kumar was more than just in the movie. I I don't know, that was supposed to be like a gay, like your gay message, or you cannot be the lead hero message.
Yeah.
But well, then he punched him and showed him that he was macho.
So these guys all have anger issues.
Yeah, so like father, like son.
Recently, this guy has been stabbed in his house
Who?
Saif Ali Khan.
Oh, by who?
by some burglar, something. It's a very shady thing that's happening in Bollywood right now. Like people are getting attacked. Like people are associating with some new underground dawn that's rising up. In
What?
Yeah, so
This is a good movie too.
So it's hush hush. Like no one knows like who did that. Like he got shoved with like a knife in his.
So what? There's a bunch of Bollywood
house.
murders going on.
Not murdered,
Like break-ins.
like threats and attacks.
By a new underground mafia?
Yeah. Not only Bollywood, also politicians. One of the politicians was killed in the broad daylight in the street.
Oh, so
on the
this is
streets.
kind of like, what's his name? Luigi on a grand scale. There's a whole
No,
Luigi
it's nothing
movement.
to do with Luigi.
No, I'm not saying Luigi, like the theme.
Wow, Luigi's killing all these Bollywood
Not
stars?
Luigi himself. I'm saying like that kind of movement of like going against
no
the
way, no
upper
way.
class
No,
people.
No, it's just a mafia
No, this is
coming
a
in.
mafia takeover.
Man.
Backed by
That's cool. That's fine.
I thought a
Most of-
revolution was starting in
No,
India.
no. Mafias are backed
We
by
wish.
the politicians.
Okay.
Yeah, the ruling party kind of trying to take over Bollywood via mafia again. So it's like it used to be like that. Like when Dawood Ibrahim was running a lot of scene in Bollywood. Like, yeah, he was the mafia back then. Now it's like the name of I think we were talking about this guy. Okay, anyway, we'll figure out later. But after the podcast.
I feel old watching that movie.
Yeah,
It's like if this is what kids are up to these days, I don't want to be a part of it.
No, I feel young. I feel like they were older than me.
they looked older.
From
than
their point of view
like-
towards the world.
And he was making more money than any of us doing nothing in high school.
Oh my gosh.
yes. I get a car every year.
I never earned 25,000 rupee a week in India.
Well, the only takeaway I got from the whole thing is that like I knew this girl from Raipur.
Where's Raipur?
Right, I don't know what Raipur. Raipur.
It's a place. It's a place. You went there?
Not a place. She's just from there. She's like
But-
this Indian girl that I know.
Oh, so that's okay. Raipur is a place.
Yeah, she's like the most richest Indian I've ever met. She's like super entitled. When she goes to classes, she would like, call up her parents to pay for things. And I remember her going back to her hometown for summer or something, and then she had like this extravagant birthday party in like this like mansion setting, where like people were just waiting for her and her friends were clapping, and there was like this big cake. That's the thing that I saw from Pia's birthday in the movie.
Wow, so these things actually happen.
That's
I
my
just
point. It's not
figured-
fantastical. That's how these people really live, and that's why it's upsetting.
It's just crazy like that. I thought like she was just like a special case, but like man, if there's one takeaway I can get from that, I guess I'll be like, wow, people like them do exist, but I feel super alienated from it all.
Ask her about bonfire night.
Yeah, I guess maybe she.
I want to know what happens there. What sacred rituals are occurring?
What the fuck is bonfire? I don't even know. I've never heard of it.
I am glad
I
that the
know.
reception of this movie is negative. Like, I think it'd all be worse if like everyone loved this movie
Yeah,
and
that's
we like
true.
were like, I don't get this sucks. But no, everyone hates it. Everyone is rightfully calling it out. So it's not like it's like a huge hit and changing the culture or anything. Like it's getting dismissed, and that's great. And
Yeah.
like these actors have a lot to prove now. Like they're not going to coast on this or anything. So that's nice. Like it shows that everyone still has some good taste.
Humanity prevails.
Yeah.
We won.
Yeah.
It's a story of victory.
It sits at a 3.1 on IMDb,
Yeah,
just in case
13%.
anyone's wondering.
13% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like it's getting trash.
I hope
But
no one watches this movie because of us.
I still can't fully like pinpoint why it's so terrible, because I grew up watching so many rom-coms, and like
It's
some
boring.
critics were comparing this to
It's
Never Have I
boring.
Ever, but it's so boring. It didn't have to be this bad.
It's not funny. It's not smart. There's no funny characters. Like usually rom-coms have like side characters that are funny.
Yeah.
There's none of that.
The character, we need to talk a little bit more. It's like Archana Puran Singh. She plays like the Mrs. Brazinga, like the
Braganza.
The old lady
the old
trying to
lady.
be
Yeah.
all
trying
Gen
to be
Z.
Gen Z with her terms like LTTYL, OMG, WTF.
The character is a reference to Karan Johar's first film.
Oh yeah,
Right,
yeah,
is
you
that
mentioned that.
so, right?
Kuch
Yeah,
Kuch
so
Hota
she
Hai.
was the same character was playing, same actor was playing the same name, like namesake character, Miss Braganza, who was a some dean or principal of the
Okay.
college the students were studying, like the actors were,
So,
the main characters were studying.
Funny you should say that. I was looking it up and it says that she reprised her role.
Yes.
So it's like there's a school multiverse.
Wait, we
going on.
literally had this conversation in the beginning. Are you joking, dude? Khili did say all that, and we reacted to it.
Oh, did we?
And we talked about the same character. Khili gave the same speech
I thought it was-
earlier.
Oh, okay. Well, I remember he said that. I just don't remember he.
There's a school. He said there's.
But back then they were in college. I don't know why they made this in high school. The movie would have made a lot more
it's
sense.
It's not like MCU multiverse kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So when Bollywood does it's just
No, but that's-
meta reference shit.
That's what I was trying to say. I was going back to what you said. You said
Yeah.
it might be a multiverse, but it does feel like a school multiverse.
But that's what he said, and we
But then we said no.
no. But he said just it wasn't like the Marvel.
Marvel.
But then he kept going, and this is exactly
Yeah,
covered
but
all
then it
this.
feels like a Marvel multiverse. That's my point.
It's
Yeah,
a
but
school
it is not the
universe.
Marvel multiverse. So here, what happens is like people keep on referencing, like doing the similar character, same namesakes and everything, but it's not connected. Like, oh, it's one whole big story. It's just meta referencing to other characters they have played before.
I know,
For no bigger
I know you're
reason.
saying that, but I read it through and it says that she's reprising her role. So then I think that it's a multiverse kind of deal.
Maybe we need to
That's
watch
all.
Kuch Kuch Hota next and see if like the surrounding, the
But
teacher
she got
is all the
took a
same.
different. She could be. She was in a
Yeah.
university. Now she took a different job in a school.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
I think
She
we talked
just
about
changed
this.
it.
How
Does
the
she have
movie
the
would
same
have
name?
been.
It
a lot.
can be
Yeah,
totally
same
true.
name.
Well, so it's
It
the
can
same
be totally
person.
true.
Yeah.
And it's the same name,
Yeah.
same actor. So
What's oh yeah, same.
We can just solve it right now without watching that
actually
movie.
It can be the same person.
I don't know.
She was in a university. Hey, people change his job. She was in university. Now she's in a
We're
school.
like trying so hard to make this movie.
I think we're.
The
Makes
movie is so
sense.
disconnected from
Something.
No, it just
reality.
became a lot more interesting now that I know this.
Give us something. Yeah.
Wow, she was interesting in another movie. That's cool. What a cool fact.
This character.
No, the movie is disconnected from reality. Boring, terrible acting.
Stay on TikTok, kids.
Yeah.
Don't watch this
No,
movie.
I mean,
I want to talk about like how Karan Johar's film are like gradually declining day by day. Like he's not giving enough hits to the point that I don't know.
Yeah.
I heard like he sold almost half of the share of Dharma production
Oh.
to someone else.
He's tired.
There was that like we shared this article the other day, right? It was like an Al Jazeera article where they mentioned that Keijo's latest films have all been flops.
Yeah.
They're losing a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
money.
yeah.
because the
Yeah.
same kind of movies that made him popular back in the day is not going to work
But-
anymore.
but I
That's
would
exactly
say
it.
He
Yeah.
actually produced a very nice film. I definitely want everyone to Jigra.
Jigra. Okay.
It
Ali Abad.
stars Ali Abad as an action hero, and she's saving her brother from a fictional country in Southeast Asia where he just gets mixed up with a drug bust, and he's about to get like life sentence. Death sentence, and then she saves him, and it's a very nice film. It's directed by one of my favorite directors from Bollywood, Bhasan Bala, but it's a really good film. Nice setup, nice world building, nice characters, terrific actions, brilliant cinematography, amazing set design, but flops in Indian box office.
All right, this is a good time to wrap it up. The door open. We need to. We got some more
Okay.
toys from the temple fair today.
Okay,
And
guys.
more
So the
pillows.
takeaway from this film is like, don't watch this film. Watch Jigra.
Yeah, and
I'm
we'll
just
watch
kidding.
Sugar at some point, and all the movies in the multi-school universe, the MCU, the multi-college universe.
The Keijo universe.
It was fun watching it. I'm glad we got, a real 17-year-old's perspective on it. That was nice.
Yeah.
I think that those
that's
extra elements made it fun. Khili did bring your kids to work. Day.
yeah. swear in front of your, show them how stressful your job could be. You have to watch all these shit movies. Don't watch this. You can skip it. But we watch it so you don't have to. We'll watch some better films next time. Thanks for listening. Please rate and review, I guess.
Boy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.